This is the start right here.
Hey.
Let's get it.
Welcome to episode 1 of the Just Us podcast.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. Episode 1. My name is Jailene.
And I'm Joanthan. And this is our first podcast.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Welcome.
So, Jailene and I have been together for the past 10 years, and today is our wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary. I love you.
Happy anniversary. 5 years. Did you say you love me?
Yes, I love you.
I love you.
5 years married and almost 10 years together.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Exactly. We're the halfway point to 10 years. We're exactly 9.5 today.
Yeah.
If you didn't know.
So, we are doing a podcast because we feel like we've been through a lot together. We've had our toxic stages. We've grown from those toxic stages. We've been married 20 years old. We're both 20. Now I think about it, I'm like, that's crazy. We got married so young.
Yeah, I would have never, like, if someone told little me, like, you're going to be married, you're going to be moved out, you're going to have a baby at this, and this age, I wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, so we've been through a lot together. A lot of stages in life, and now we're parents. So we feel like we have so much knowledge, so much experience as being a couple. So we want to share that with you guys, the people who are watching, the audience. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today. Whatever you're doing, we hope you're having an amazing day.
Whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us in your car.
Streaming us.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I gotta learn how to do that first.
To stream?
To stream it, yeah, like on a podcast, because I've never done that before. This is the first time.
This is our first time.
Yeah.
But we're excited, and that is basically what you guys can expect on these next episodes in the future. We love to share, like Jonthan said, our experiences as couples and just in life in general, how we grew together, how we grew individually. And I'm so sorry if you heard that. that was my phone.
Hear that.
Yeah, we're just excited to share everything. We love to share our life. I just feel like when I think about our life, I feel like we manifested it actually, and I don't know, it's hard to believe how like it's all been playing out so well for us. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah, we have some crazy stories to tell you guys for sure.
Yeah. But
to bring you to today's topic for our wedding anniversary, today's topic is going to be about marriage, right? There's a lot of things that happen in marriages that are good, bad, ugly.
Yeah.
So we want to cover a lot of it today and our experience, why we got married, you know, where we're at in our marriage right now.
Especially so young.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, I feel like a good amount of people are like, why are you getting married so young? But it's like age is but a number, right? Everyone's at different parts of their life at certain ages. It's like, there's no right time for anything. It's just, you got to do it.
At that point in our relationship, we were already 5 years together. Some people get together at 20 years old, right? Yeah. So to them, it's like you're getting married at a really young age, versus us, we already experienced a lot together at that time.
Yeah. Would you like to share our story and how it all first happened?
Yeah, so we've shared this story a couple of times, but we never really go into deep detail. So we're gonna start off by telling how we met as a couple and
how we first came about everything.
Yeah, how we were like introduced to each other and how it led to us becoming a couple.
Yeah.
In general. So yeah, to start off, we had a mutual friend and her name was Natalie. So she went to my school and she was on your soccer team?
Yeah, we had played club soccer together. I don't know how long by then, but probably a couple years now, and we were like really good friends. And basically in 2015 April, I went to sleep over at her house, and we're just doing girl things, you know. I think that time we had went to go watch a movie at the movie theaters, came back and chilled at her house. It was me, another friend, and Natalie.
Right.
So it was 3 of us. And then we're just like doing girl things. We're 14 or 15, 14, 15. And we're like, let's FaceTime some boys. You pick some guy friends of yours and you pick some guy friends of yours.
That's crazy. And you had a boyfriend.
I was in a relationship at this time. But we're still FaceTiming, you know, our guy friends, whatever. And Joanthan was one of Natalie's friends that we FaceTimed.
Mm-hmm. And I remember they had FaceTime me. I got a call, and I saw she had a couple of friends there that they didn't recognize because they didn't go to our school. So I remember I seen Jailene in the background, and I was really interested because she was, you know, I was attracted to her. I was like, she's really pretty. And then she was paying like zero attention to me because she had a boyfriend. So I mean, that makes sense now. But
it's funny because I do remember that I was in an argument with that boyfriend at the time.
Yeah.
So that's why I wasn't paying attention. So yeah.
But it's funny because like at the same time I respected that because I was like, well, like she's actually like not paying attention to me. But
you didn't know until you followed me on Instagram.
I didn't realize that until later on. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, now I look back, I'm like, well, you're being loyal. That's good.
Yeah, I'm always loyal.
I respect that.
I'm a loyal girl.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years and I'm still loyal.
Yeah. So I was really interested. I was like, we ended up following each other on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we didn't really connect.
No, we went our separate ways. I don't remember if did I follow you on Instagram or you just followed me?
I think we both followed each other.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we both followed each other.
So we followed each other, and then that was April 2015, and then
we didn't speak for a couple of months.
No.
I mean, it's not like we were speaking at the time, but we weren't like DMing each other or anything like that.
Yeah.
We just went our own ways, really.
Yeah, and then fast forward, 7 months later in December?
Yeah, it's funny.
November, December.
Because there was this app back in the day, if you guys remember.
Oh my god.
It's called Fahahoto.
Yeah, it's PHHHOTO.
A bunch of H's in there. Yeah. Photo. Yeah. Literally, like, it's just an app where it's like a boomerang.
It was so good. It was only, I don't know how long it was up for, like a few months maybe, and then they took it down for some reason. I don't know. Yeah,
I guess it just wasn't popping. And we ended up following each other on there, and I remember that's when I started seeing you more, and I was like, oh, she's like liking my stuff, you know. I'm pretty sure like at that time I was interested in you, but I just wasn't unsure like if you were still in a relationship.
I think I was out of a relationship by then.
Yeah, I just wasn't 100%, and we went to different schools, so I was like, I wasn't trying to pursue somebody who went to a different school.
Yeah. And then
go ahead.
And then my high school, our girls soccer team had a game versus Joanthan's high school, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I didn't think like, oh my god, I'm gonna see Joanthan. It was literally just like, oh, we're going to Downey. I'm gonna see my friend Natalie. Like, that's cool. And then we get there and we're sitting on the bleachers. We're waiting for like our time to warm up. So we're just chilling. And then at this time, we were kind of looking out for my ex because he said he was supposed to be there and I didn't want him to be there. So me and my friends were like, oh my god, keep an eye out. And we're looking, we have a good distance like from where we are on the bleachers to the gate. So we're watching everybody walk in. And then we see this guy walk in and I'm like, oh my god, and we can't see, but it's, you know, it's a guy with like pretty long hair. And then he gets closer and I'm like, oh, that's not him, but I know him. And it's Joanthan, which is crazy.
That was me. I was the guy walking. And it's funny because I knew there was girls there. So, you know, I'm just trying to, you know, have a, it's like that walk that you like, you don't even know how to walk anymore because
don't trip. And you're like on your phone and I'm like, yeah, I know him. That's my friend's friend. And I'm like, he's cute though, but it's crazy because like you literally passed by because you were going to
I was going to my practice.
You were going to your practice. So that's how I remember seeing him, and then had our game. And then after a game, I texted my friend Natalie and I was like, hey, I saw J-Boy because that was his name.
That was my name back in the day.
Yeah, his name was J-Boy and that was like his username, whatever. And I was like, I saw J-Boy today. And she's like, oh my god. And we're just like texting, and then she messages Joanthan on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she messaged me, and I think she texted me actually. She texted me on my number.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, she just asked me like the most randomest thing. She was like, "Do you think Jailene is pretty?" And I was like, "What? Like, you didn't? There's no context to this. Like, you just messaged me out of the blue. Do I think Jailene is pretty?" Now, and at the time, I wasn't thinking of Jailene, but I was hoping it was her because I knew obviously her name. And
but you're like, it's been like months.
Yeah, I'm like, well, where's this coming from? Like, does Jailene think I'm cute or something? Like, what is going on?
I remember her sending me a screenshot too of like only her message, and then I saw your contact, and I was like, oh my god, no, you didn't. I was freaking out, but I was like, yes, but then I was like, why did you do that?
What is he gonna say? Yeah. So I was confused, and I was like, why are you asking me this? Like, what's going on? And then I was like, yeah, I think she's pretty. And then I really forgot what else happened after that, but I remember like she was telling me like to hit you up or something, and then that's when I DM'd you on Instagram, and then we connected from there.
Yeah, you said hey with the smiley face, ... smile.
Smile. I don't remember what I said.
And then
I remember I said hey though.
You said hey ... smile. And I was like, oh my god, send her a screenshot. He just messaged me.
Oh my god, that's so funny. But
oh my god.
Yeah, from there we connected, and
the rest is history.
And that's it. That's everything. No, but we connected and we went on our first date.
Like,
and this was in
4
December
days,
2015.
It was like 4 days after we texted that we went on our first date.
Yeah. I made it official the same month. I knew from the jump because we connected, and then once we went on our second date, I think that's when I really knew.
Question. Did we kiss on the first date?
Are you supposed to kiss on the first date? No, but we did.
But we did.
We were kids. I feel like as an adult, it's different versus like when you're in high school, you're a teenager. Like,
I don't know. Is there like a rule for that? I guess it just depends on like the situation.
What was the situation?
We were at the movies.
Yeah, movie is such a bad first date.
Yeah.
It's such a bad first date.
And we didn't even have a lot of time. We've literally started our date at 9:00 at night. And mind you, Joanthan wasn't even supposed to be out. He was in trouble.
Yeah,
you didn't explain that. Explain that.
Yeah, so our first date, I was so late to our first date. Like, it was like really late. It was probably like 40 minutes to an hour late.
I think we were supposed to, like, it was like 7:00 and you were like, I'm not there yet. I'm not, like,
it might have been like over an hour.
It kept pushing, and I remember telling my parents, like, he said not yet, he said not yet, he said not yet, and my dad's like, this guy, and knowing my dad is like on time.
He probably thought like I was playing you or something.
Yeah, he's like, are you sure this guy like wants to like see you? And I'm like, yes, he does.
Trust me, like, I really wanted to be there, but I wasn't on my own time schedule. I had so I wasn't supposed to go out, and
bad boy.
my aunt and my uncle, they were going to see a movie, and I was like, hey, can I go with you guys so that way I can go see you? But I was on their schedule, so I didn't have control of like getting there at a specific time because they were like, oh, let's go to the shoe store first, and then we'll go to the movies.
And you lied to your parents.
I lied. Yeah. Well, I didn't lie. They knew where I was going.
They didn't know you were going on a date.
They didn't know I was going on a date.
You said, I'm going to the movies.
Did I lie?
No.
Did I lie?
It depends how you said it.
Yeah. If they would have asked me, who am I there to go see, they're not going to ask me that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But I was there to see you, and I was an hour and something late, and you almost left.
I almost left. I did. And I was like, I swear he's coming. I swear. I swear, please just wait. And I remember seeing you walk. And this was at the Long Beach Town Center. If you guys are familiar with the Long Beach area, that's where we had our first date. I feel like around that time, the Long Beach Town Center was like popping too.
That's when it was popular, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, it was like 9 something, and my parents had to pick me up by like 11. So we had like less than 2 hours, and we still paid money to go watch a movie that we didn't even get to finish.
Yeah.
And we watched what movie?
Creed
1.
Such a good movie. We watched all the Creeds. Creeds are amazing.
Yeah. How many Creeds are there?
I think there's 3.
Oh, damn. Yeah, they're all good.
Great movies.
But yeah, that was our first date.
That's literally how we met and got together. It's just crazy. Our story is crazy. Like, we have so many other stories that we want to tell in the future, but that is how we came together. And it's crazy because if we didn't have the mutual friend, we wouldn't have met.
Yeah.
at all.
So shout out. shout out to her.
Shout out to our mutual friend at the time.
And the rest is history.
It was great.
And then 2 dates later.
3.
3 days later, you asked me to be your girlfriend?
That was on Christmas, but we went on 3 dates before that, right?
You didn't ask me on Christmas?
The 20th.
The 20th
Yeah.
is not Christmas.
It felt
But it was
Christmas.
like December 4th was our first date. And then obviously whatever's
the next weekend
what's
after that.
+7. And then +7, I think.
So
I
yeah,
don't remember.
so then it was 2 dates, and then I asked you
Yeah.
out. Damn, that's crazy.
So on the third date,
On the third
you asked
date.
me out.
Yeah.
Bro wanted it.
Bro wanted what?
He wanted to cuff me up.
Well, yeah. I was like, bro, this girl's like freaking beautiful. Like, why is nobody like with her? I was glad you broke up with your ex. I was like, yes.
It's crazy. But like, it's crazy how we found, like, we came back into like each other's lane. From like FaceTiming, going our separate ways, 7 months later, coming back.
Insane.
If my school didn't have a game versus your school, would we have met?
Right? Like, what if you went to a further school
Yeah.
that wasn't in the division? I mean, you were in the division. It was just a friendly
Yeah,
match, right?
we weren't even in the same division or league or
Yeah.
what is it?
Yeah, division.
Yeah. That's crazy. So it was like just a friendly scrimmage. That is so crazy. I love talking about our story.
Yeah.
I get like hear it like a bunch of times.
But I think that's the first time we ever just explained everything.
Yeah.
But now, you know, we'll kind of dive into marriage and the big topics that we have about marriage.
Like you said, we got married at 20. So this was in 2020 when COVID was a thing. And the reason we got married so early was
Because of marriage.
because of marriage.
Because of the military. Sorry, they both started with M.
Yeah.
The military, and we wanted to live together. And in order for us to live together and, you know, have an apartment together, we needed to get married so that way the military would fund the housing money. And then from there we get to live together.
So that was the only way that we're gonna do that. And you were stationed in San Diego, which was perfect because it was like close by.
Very close. I was 2 hours away from home.
Yeah. But you never proposed.
I unfortunately didn't get the honor to propose to you.
You didn't. Everything just kind of like fell into like our lap.
And mind you, this was 2020 and COVID. When we got married, we were just talking about it. We thought it'd be a fun idea to get married and like move in together. We're like, imagine just living in an apartment together.
Yeah, so when we would FaceTime, we would look at apartments, just like, imagine.
Yeah.
But like, I never thought that my parents would let me get married at 20 or 21 or 22. Like, I didn't think my parents would be okay with it, especially I was still like in school. I didn't know what I was gonna do. And yeah, we were just always looking at apartments, and I guess you could say we were manifesting it. And like my brother heard, he told my mom, and then like all this, she was like, well, you know, you have to get married to live with each other. So, and I was like,
And then she started helping you look for apartments.
and she was sending me, was sending me apartments, and I'm like, what are you trying to say yes? And then I'm like, I think my parents are like okay with it. And then they just kind of had a talk with me, and I was like, you know, if you want to do this, you have to finish school. And then they had to talk with Joanthan, and then yeah, we were just like, oh, okay, yeah, if you guys are okay with it, then we would love to get married.
It was kind of like a planned thing, like, oh, so we can actually get married and move in together.
Yeah, they kind of like were like, if you're gonna do this,
like you have to get married first, and then they were like, yeah, finish school.
Yeah, like we never asked them. We weren't like, we're gonna get married. They were like,
well,
just
because
helping us.
we never thought of like, it was just an idea. It was never something that was gonna become a thing or happen.
Yeah.
Because I felt like we were really young, but we did want to live together.
We did.
And that was the only thing that we could do to live together.
Yeah.
At the time.
And then my mom was helping, and then we kind of planned the wedding. And again, it was during COVID, so we couldn't have like a big wedding, or we couldn't have a lot of family there. So it was like my immediate and then Jonathan's immediate, like, it was probably like a handful, one handful in the back of my parents' house, and then everyone else was on Zoom. Mm-hmm. And we got married.
It was so small, so
Super
simple.
small.
We put like maybe less than $1,000 into it, which was great.
Yeah. But we're not the type to do big weddings anyways.
Big weddings or parties or anything like that.
Yeah, so
I think we're very just intimate. We like to do things like, and not have it be like everyone is involved. As we're filming this, the baby's sleeping.
Yeah, we're like watching him on the camera. And we're like kind of in his room, so he's sleeping in our room. But yeah, we had to hurry up and knock this out before he wakes up.
Yeah, so we only have a period of time. So anyways, getting back to marriage, how do you feel, like, what's your opinion on people getting married? Do you feel like it's necessary, or is it something that isn't necessary to
Getting married?
Getting married.
I feel like nowadays, like this generation, it's not really necessary to get married.
Explain.
Like, I feel like marriage is kind of, what would you call it? Help me out here. A title.
Right.
Right? Like husband and wife. Like, don't get me wrong, I love like saying like, oh, you're my husband and we're married. But do we need to get married? We needed to get married because we were in the military. But like, I don't think.
But we also like wanted to at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I thought of the idea and I thought it would be good for us to get married.
But I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
I don't think so. My sister isn't. One of my sisters aren't married.
But like, what if? Doesn't it make it easier for people to not be committed to you as much if you're not married? Because
so you need to be married in order to be like committed and locked down?
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm just saying, like, wouldn't it be easier for people to just be like, oh, we're not married, so it's easier for me to leave you?
I think that's fucked up on that person if they like think that way.
Right.
Like, if you love that person, a title shouldn't like make you be like, oh, I have my foot out the door because I'm not married, so I can just like, I have other opportunities.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
It is.
What do you think?
I feel like I agree with the sense of like having a title for marriage, and some people do it for the wrong reasons. Is it necessary? No. But do I think people should do it, like people who are actually like in love and want kids, want a family? I think you should.
Yeah, I think
there's nothing wrong with getting married.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting married. But also there's other stuff that comes with getting married, like health insurance or insurance, right?
Right.
Or, I don't know, isn't there like
taxes?
Yeah, like there's those things that kind of affect whether you're married or not too. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's like beneficial or not, but I don't think it's necessary. But if you want to, like, go for it, right? If you're, like you said, there's certain reasons that people...
I just feel like some people just get married for the wrong reason.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so, but do I think it's necessary in a relationship? Sure. Like people who are together and they're just like, no, we're not gonna get married.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
I agree.
Why not get married?
You changed my perspective.
Like, why not get married?
I'm influenced. I agree.
So technically, it's necessary if you're in a healthy relationship, right? Why not get married?
But what if they don't? What if a healthy relationship, people don't want to get married?
Why?
I don't know. Because they don't want to like do the whole marriage thing?
Because it's a lot of work?
Yeah.
It's a lot of paperwork?
Yeah. I don't know.
But if you...
I think that people who want to get married, cool, get married. I think people who...
You don't have a bold statement. You're like, people need to get married.
And if people don't want to get married, they don't have to get married. But if you're getting married to someone...
I don't want gray area, Jailene. I want get married or no get married.
I'm always in the gray area. I'm for everybody just doing their own thing. Go do your thing, bro.
I want you to pick one side. Is it necessary or is it not necessary? I'm going to say yes, it is.
It is necessary. I just want everyone to be happy.
You're like, if you don't want to get married, you don't have to get married.
Yeah, why can't we just do that?
I just wanted you to have like one answer and share your opinion.
You know, for someone like me, I love when people just do what they want to do.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person I am. So
you're like, I don't.
You're putting the spotlight on me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, he just like flipped.
Oh my god. My statement is I'm for whatever you guys are for. Whatever you feel like you want to do it. Get married, don't get married, just as long as you're happy.
She took the easy way out.
It's not easy way, it's just that's what my heart is.
That's fair. I like your heart.
Thank you.
We have another like segment that we want to do, right? So Jailene chose, or she looked up, what are the 5 hardest things in a marriage?
Yes, I did.
And
I looked it up.
I'm going to respond to that and give my opinion on basically what I think is from number 5 to number 1. 1 being the hardest, or the hardest thing in a relationship.
So basically, I asked ChatGPT. Sorry, I don't know why I always say
It's
B.
easier to say B.
ChatGPT.
They should have switched their name to BT.
Yeah, what does GPT even mean?
Chat person.
It's G first.
Oh. Chat G global person. Text?
Therapist?
Therapist.
I don't know. I have no idea what ChatGPT means.
So
anyways, I asked ChatGPT what are the top 5 hardest things when it comes to marriage. So we're gonna have Joanthan say his first. We're gonna have you say yours first,
and then we'll see
if it's like the same thing that ChatGPT says.
Okay. So I would say number 1 would definitely be finances. And I'm not saying this because this is what we deal with, but I'm just saying like in general for all the married people out there. So number 1, finances. Number 2, communication. Number 3, I would say work. Number 4, it's actually kind of hard. 5.
Wait, what'd you say 4?
No, like 5 of them like would be hard.
Oh, I was like, you didn't even say 4.
4 would be children, and then number 5 would be sex.
Intimacy,
sorry.
Okay, those are good ones. ChatGPT kind of gave, I feel like I think ChatGPT is a guy, by the way. I don't know why. So I'll say he said communication differences, managing conflict in healthy ways, keeping intimacy alive, handling life transitions together, and balancing individuality and togetherness. I feel like he kind of broke it down into different ones, but without being too specific.
Can you ask him to be more specific?
Because I feel like balancing individuality and togetherness.
That makes sense because that means like me doing my own thing, you doing your own thing, and then us coming together and doing things together.
Yeah, but I feel like finances could like land in like one of these, or like what else did you say?
I said finances, communication, kids, intimacy, and then I said work.
See, and kids could fall into handling life transitions together,
yeah,
right?
because that is a transition.
Yeah, so I feel like it kind of like was like bigger picture, and then you kind of like was like specific.
But number 1 was communication.
Yeah, communication differences.
Yeah, and just to kind of elaborate on communication, I feel like we have great communication now, but before like when we were younger, obviously like we went through our toxic stage.
Oh my god, super toxic.
The most toxic ever.
Oh my god.
So toxic.
But this is like in high school. We were literally still in high school.
Yeah. So it's so bad because I was so insecure.
Yeah, you were.
In high school.
And now you're so secure.
I know what I like. I know what I want. But I also know who I am in a way. And I know that before, like I think I was just overthinking everything about every situation, especially since we went to different schools. But communication, it was just bad because the way I would communicate with you, and it would just be out of like out of jealousy and anger, instead of trying to come to you and with more of like a calm demeanor. Not that I was like yelling at you or anything, but it was through text, right?
Yeah.
So.
And you for sure like were gaslighting me into making me feel bad.
Yeah.
At times. It's crazy.
Just spill all the beans.
That's what we're here for.
We're spilling all the beans. To share.
It. Spill it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, we have a great communication now.
And some of the ways, what are some ways that you feel like people out there can better their communication?
That's a tough one. What are some ways that they can better themselves at communicating?
Yeah.
I think a good way to communicate to your partner about, you know, whether it's like a problem or something that makes you uncomfortable and you want to like, hey, like whether it's like someone, I saw you liking this girl's post. I feel like that's very common, right? Like, and I feel like you can't have good communication without good listening.
That's a good one.
Right? Like you can communicate all you want, but is your partner listening with like open ears and an open heart? It has to work on both ends. If I'm going to communicate to you in a good tone, you know, soft, calmly, and like respectfully, I need my partner to listen like that also.
Right.
Listen respectfully and hear me out and really understand what I'm trying to say. If I'm telling my partner what is wrong with me and they kind of just like make me feel bad or like brush it off, like it's not that big of a deal, that's not fair to me if if I have good communication.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like your partner needs to be able to digest too, because sometimes, you know, for example, today, you know, you say things in the heat of a moment and sometimes you just need a second to think about the situation and understand. And I feel like I've been better at that, just being able to take a breath, sit with it and just come to a realization, okay, this is what happened, this is what Jailene felt, this is what I felt. Why did she feel this way? Because XYZ. So I think just understanding what you say in certain situations, it allows you to reflect, and then, you know, if you need to apologize. If you need to just come back and regroup later on, I feel like that's another way of having great communication, because you can't talk in the heat of a moment. You cannot. Sometimes you just can't.
And I remember taking a communications class in college. That's crazy. I wish I would have paid more attention now, because I just feel like I was college is the regular class. I did learn some things, like when you're like not communicating, you're arguing with someone and you say you instead of I, you're like attacking that person.
Right.
Like, you made me feel this way and you do this and this and that, instead of I feel like I am her. I feel like it could have gone this way. I feel like this and this and that.
Right, because then you don't feel attacked at that point.
Yeah, you're explaining what you feel like, what I feel like. I feel like that was the thing. That was one of the things that I actually took away from the class and paid attention to. So
I remember you telling me that when you were taking that class too.
You remember?
I remember you saying about you, but it's just hard because at that time, you know, you don't really, it's stuck with you, but you don't use that stuff to your advantage in your relationships or other things.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I did today. I feel like explaining, because we had a little, not argument, but like a little
disagreement.
Yeah. And it wasn't anything big. It was literally like, there was a bag. Would you like me to share?
You can share.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There was a bag on top of the trash can, like a Zara bag. So it was like a paper bag. And Joanthan had brought that in from the car, and it had, I don't even know what it had.
It had mail, and then it had some Amazon like wrapping, like, you know how Amazon comes in a package. It had like the plastic in there too, but there was like nothing in the plastic.
Yeah, it was like a trash.
It was like, yeah, a trash.
And then was there more trash on top?
My cup was in there, and my cookie was in there also.
Wait, what cup?
My Halo Mix shaker bottle.
Okay. And there's mail on the bottom. But I saw that it looked like trash. So to me, it looked like trash, especially if it's on top of the trash. We usually put trash on top of the trash if it's trash, whatever. And I just finished changing the baby's diaper. So I put the diaper in there. It was just pee. It was just a pee-pee diaper. Yeah. And I put the diaper in there. And then Jonathan's like, Jay, this isn't trash. Yeah. And I was like, what? Like, how am I supposed to know? Right. And actually, like, ask yourself, how am I supposed to know that it's trash if there's trash in there and I couldn't see the mail on the bottom, but you put trash in there? Mm-hmm. So it was like, I didn't like the way that
I approached this, the conversation and brought it up.
The way that, the way it all started.
It was out of a reaction because I saw the diaper and I just reacted, right? I was like, Jay, like, this isn't trash. And then, Jailene, you took it in a way where I was
You were blaming me.
I was blaming you.
Yeah. And so it was kind of like a back and forth for a little bit, and we both sat with it and gave each other time. Came together, and then we kind of looked at each other and laughed. We're like, bruh, what the heck?
Yeah, it was a really silly disagreement, but it's gonna happen sometimes. Like, we're not perfect in our relationship, and no other couple is perfect. You're gonna have your disagreements, you're gonna have your differences sometimes, and I just feel that when you have good communication, it's gonna help you better your relationship. And even through those tough times, even though that wasn't like a super tough time, but even through those little tough times, if you get through it, you're gonna be golden with your relationship.
And I feel like a big thing to that is we both went to therapy, but we've been talking to our therapists individually and are working on our own childhood traumas. I feel like knowing where these reactions come from and where our triggers come from is a very big thing also. Yeah. Because we can be like, why are we feeling like that? Oh, because the way that my parents used to come about things. So now I'm triggered like this, and I feel like you're blaming me, and I feel like you're saying it's my fault, and then you feel like everything's you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. The way you handle things come from something deeper than just the trash being right there.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny because my dad would tell me the same shit when I was younger. Like, who left this thing right here? And it's like we pick up these things without us even knowing, like, very unconsciously. Like, we just pick up these habits that our parents did, and we do the same thing either to our family, girlfriend, friends, or whatever it is. We just pick up those small things, and it's just crazy how that works. Mm-hmm.
So I think deep diving into your childhood and how you were raised is a big factor of it.
Communication.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because if you see your parents communicating in a certain way, you're gonna think like, oh, it's okay to communicate with my partner the same way that my parents communicated. If they're yelling at each other, I can yell at my partner.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm going to do it because my parents did. It's just that's what was normal.
Yeah, and you think that that's how it should be. Mm-hmm. Because that's all you see. Yeah. That's all you're exposed to.
Communication is key.
And we always preach that communication is key.
It really is. Communication, but remember, you can't have communication without understanding or without a good listener. Yeah. So those are two things to work on. I feel like we can dive deep into each one of those things that ChatGPT said. Yeah, but I think communication is the best thing out of all that. I mean, what was the second one? Second one, let me pull up my handy dandy phone. Managing conflict in healthy ways. I feel like that was kind of just what we did.
I feel like it's a part of communication.
Yeah.
Because you're managing conflict. I mean, there's other ways of conflict, like when you have kids and you have a disagreement on that kid, like you want to do something a certain way with the kid, and I want to do something with the kid, but we have our differences. So I guess there's like different ways than just communication, but then it all ties back to communication.
It does. And being respectful to your partner. Yeah, I mean, we've been married 5 years.
5 years. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary again. I think that's so crazy. We've grown a lot. And
so much.
I know I said that, well, I didn't really say. I was gray area with the
the
marriage is necessary, marriage isn't necessary. I guess it's just going back to that. It's like it depends on how you see life, right? Like if you're like, how do you see your future? If someone asks you, how do you see yourself in 10 years? Mm-hmm. And then obviously it's gonna be like, well, I want to get married and I want to have a house and I want to have kids. Like that's the way society is, right? Like you go to school, you go to college, and then you get a job, then you...
I mean, nowadays it's so different. Like the generation now is just like, you don't need school. Some people just go make money in high school and then they're doing that out of high school.
Yeah. Or some people don't want kids because it's expensive and
you just don't want kids.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this generation is like it's okay to do that because also we're aware that sometimes you're not emotionally or mentally ready for kids and you don't want to put your child through that.
Because you went through a lot of shit. So you're like, I don't want to do that to my kid.
Exactly. I feel like the older generation was kind of like, let's just pop kids out.
Well, because at that time, remember how for us to live together, we got married. Back then, for people to live together, they had to have kids. I don't think marriage meant anything back then as much as maybe they thought it did. So they're like, let's have kids and then we can start living together.
Yeah. I mean, based off of like stories we've heard from family, from the older generations, like we had to get married.
We had to have kids.
We had to have kids in order to get married because then our parents pushed us out and was like, okay, well, you have a kid, you have to go on your own.
Yeah,
and
you have to live together.
That was kind of the thing back then, but now
you can kind of do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
And that's why, I mean, at one point we thought about not having kids.
We did.
And then it just happened.
And then here he is.
That's insane.
Again, it's all
perspective.
Yeah, it's all what you want to do.
It's really perspective, like whatever it is. But I think that if you're in love with somebody, why not tie the knot?
Yeah, for sure. I think if you want to, I don't want anyone to take it like bad. I literally like, if you want to get married, go ahead. Like, I'm literally clapping you on.
You don't have a strong opinion on it.
No, I'm clapping you on. Get married. You don't want to get married? Hey, do your thing. You don't want kids? Cool. Like, I understand.
Don't you think it's funny how if you have a strong opinion on something, it's kind of negative in a way?
Like what? Like it's negative against the other?
It's like they are coming after you. Like if you aren't for them and them. So it's like being in the gray area in the middle, it's easier, right?
It's because I don't like chaos. That's my childhood trauma.
but isn't that funny though? Like for anything, right?
Yeah.
For marriage, for like people who have abortions, right? If you're pro or against, if you're on one side or the other, it's like if you're on the pro side, pro-abortion, right? People who are like, why are you killing kids? If you're on the don't have abortions, people are like, why don't you letting the girls do what they want to do with their body?
Yeah, and then if you're gray area, you're like, oh, thanks. Like that, both sides are like, oh, thanks. You're like for us, but you're always for them. Cool, we understand.
So like, what? I just think it's so funny that it's easier for us to just be in the middle and let everybody do what they want to do, which is fair, right? Like you're not gonna judge somebody for doing something that they want to do with their body. Some people do, and I kind of find that a little weird. You're getting mad at somebody for doing something with their own body.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do, go for it. Okay? Choose whatever makes you happy, go ahead. Does that have to do with my childhood trauma?
It might.
So then what do I do? Am I supposed to be for one side?
See, you're doing it again.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that pro-abortion and all that is for another topic.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. But I was just saying it's another example of pro-marriage and then not needing to get married.
That's true.
I just find it a little funny, a little odd too at the same time.
Opinions are crazy.
Opinions are crazy.
Everybody's opinion. We're all for opinions and
everyone's gonna have an opinion.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
But like you said, they hurt if it's not the one that you want to hear.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, what do you guys think of our little podcast room? This is our baby's room.
This is our baby's room. This is we have a 2-bedroom. I think that's crazy. Sometimes it'll like hit me and be like, we have a 2-bedroom.
Because we don't spend a lot of time in here as much because he sleeps with us.
Yeah. But I would have never thought we would have a 2-bedroom home. We always had a 1-bedroom home / apartment.
Yeah, apartment.
Because all of our other apartments were 1 bed, 1 bath, and now we have 2 bed, 2 bath. Mind you, we've had how many apartments?
I don't even want to say. That's like
how many apartments?
Yeah, 7.
I don't even want to say 7. Oh my God, 7 apartments since we've been married. Because we moved in together to our first apartment like a month after we got married.
2020. Mm-hmm. And then 5 years later, 7 different apartments.
7 different apartments in 5 years? How?
That's not right, honestly.
That's not okay.
That's not okay. What is it?
Don't recommend.
I don't recommend.
Don't try this at home.
I mean, it's fun, like living in different places, but moving sucks.
It sucks, but like it was fun. Like going into each apartment.
You're like, oh my God, this is so new. It's nice, and then you're like, all right, get the fuck out of here.
Then you're like, fuck, we gotta move. But each apartment literally had its own.
But we had a reason to move. Like it wasn't like we wanted to move because fuck, I want to get out of here. Like we moved. There was a reason each time that we moved.
That's true.
It wasn't for no reason.
We're not like serial movers. I mean, we are, but like.
But that's like a different, like for a different day. But
yeah,
7 different apartments.
I love this.
So I think that wraps up today's discussion.
Our first podcast, the first episode.
First episode of history.
And what do you guys think of our name? Just Us. The Just Us podcast.
It can be Just Us or the Just Us podcast.
Yeah. I think as we go on, it'll be like, welcome back to Just Us.
Yeah. Because saying the Just Us is
like,
a lot.
Yeah. And it's like the Justice. I feel like there's a lot.
The Justice. The Justice. I don't know. But
it is just us. Literally.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see us grow and see how this goes off.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to talk to you in these chairs. Who knows? We might have a guest here one day. But I definitely want to put something here for sure.
Yeah.
Put something over there.
This was fun.
Yeah. It was good talking with you today.
Nice chatting.
But yeah, guys, this is episode 1. Completes it. We thank you guys for staying tuned. If you watched it throughout the whole podcast, or if you're just listening, we appreciate you. And more episodes to come. Yeah. If you have any ideas or want us to talk about anything specifically, leave them in the comments or message us on Instagram. Let us know. Because we're always open to suggestions. I can never say that word. Suggestions. We're always open to them. So that is it. It has been Just Us and you guys. And thank you guys for watching. Or listening. Bye. Bye for now.